Hi guys, good morning. So something that I've been increasingly awakening to has just really been coming up today. It's just really hit me between the eyes, and I figured I need to do a video about it because it's very pertinent. And it really is this. I used to feel, and this was much reinforced, by the way, by the New Age and by various people like psychoanalysts and this, that and the other, that I used to think that I was a magnet to narcissists, that in some way or another I was flawed inherently, because I'm wounded, because I'm fucked up, because I'm this, because I'm that. It's, all the gaslighting nonsense. This is why you attract narcs. It's so that you can, resolve your own inner shit. And there is some truth to that, which I will get to in a bit if I don't forget. They are there to, well, they're narcs, yeah, okay. So there is a learning element, a catharsis element to it all. Absolutely, it's part of this experience, of course it is. However, the idea that we are narcissist magnets isn't really true. Here is the truth. All truly souled beings are empaths. It is our natural state. Empathy, compassion, curiosity, a genuine interest in the world around us, a tendency to introspect, so a curiosity about our own consciousness, about what is really going on within us. What's going on in the world? What's it all about? Who am I? Why am I here? What is this about? So there is a real urge for a tendency for natural introspection, for understanding, which gives rise to greater understanding of the external, for greater compassion, for greater empathy, for greater wisdom, for greater courage, all of the integrity, all of that. Empathy. Empaths, our psychic abilities, the more we awaken, the more we introspect, the more we do the work, our psychic abilities are honed, our psychic skills, so we become more and more etc, etc. So we're empaths. This is our natural state. We are in a constant state of flux. We grow, we develop, we learn, we expand, we're constantly in bloom, we're constantly evolving, it's happening, mojo is constantly rising. That's a souled being. There aren't really that many of us in the world. We are literally surrounded by narcissists, because NPCs, the non-souled beings, the mundane reality reinforcement officers, basically all of them are narcissists. So no, we're not narcissist magnets, people. We're simply surrounded by them, like an island is surrounded by water. We encounter them here, there and every fucking where, because there are so many of them in compared to soul travelers, and they are the oil to our water. It's as simple as that. I've spoken about this in a recent video of mine, where we have, as soul travelers, we have a real tendency to project our genuineness onto NPCs. Oh, they're okay, really. Oh, he's all right, really. Oh, she means well, really. They're really quite nice, really. No, they're not. No, they're not. No, 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 no. I tell you something. NPCs are all narcissists. Every single fucking one of them, because they have no empathy, they have no compassion, they have no wisdom, they do not evolve, they don't have any mojo, they have absolutely nothing. They're software programs, one way or another. That's the way I see it, without an avatar. So they're very good mimickers. You get overt narcissists. You know exactly where you're at with them. They are bullies. They are manipulators. They're aggressive. They're violent. They're either physically violent or they abuse you emotionally, mentally, and whatever. But you also get a shitload of covert narcissists. And you get the passive, aggressive, I'm such a poor victim covert narcissist. They're very hard to pin down. One way or another, they're all narcissists, but there are many different types of narcissists. Many different nuances and layers to that. So you talk to a person, and they seem quite pleasant, and you think, oh, they must be sold, yeah. And you think, oh yeah, that's nice. But then after a little while you realise, whoa, when I start talking, they lose interest. They're simply standing there or sitting there waiting for me to stop talking so they can start talking again. They don't acknowledge what I'm talking about. They're not interested in what I'm talking about. There is no curiosity at all. None. There's no empathy. Really? So what did you do and how did that feel? No, none of that. No, it's like, yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, it's always about them. Me. Of course, in conversation when you're talking, if you're asking about them, or if you are talking and you're talking about them, then yeah, they're all interested. But if you're talking about something that you're feeling, that you're going through, they're not interested. Literally not interested. The sooner that they can get back to talking about themselves, the better. Literally zero. They are one-dimensional, but they are great mimickers. They're simulacra. They know, like any sociopath or psychopath, how to behave, to fit in almost seamlessly, so that soul travelers don't realize what is what. And the reason they are here is because they're mundane reality reinforcement troops. They are here for that reason. To make soul travelers think that, oh, this is normal and it's all fine, this is how it's meant to be, and oh yeah, and oh, this and that. You know, and it's full of platitudes. They love platitudes because they're very one-dimensional. So how do you know whether you're dealing with a soul traveler or whether you're dealing with a narcissist? Because there are certain types of narcissists that are so good at mimicking. They can mimic empathy. They can mimic introspection even. They can say things like, oh yeah, you know, I do a lot of work. I really go within, and you know, and I feel this. No, but. And you think you're taken in by that. You think, oh yeah, right, okay. Anybody can say anything at the end of the day, people, right? It's when you've known that person and 6 months later, they're still exactly the same. And nothing has changed. When they talk to you and they feign an interest in you, in what you're going through. Just a minute, by the way. Ooh, my cup of tea. Superficial. That's the word I was looking for. They're very superficial, but you see, we're so used to it because we've lived in this realm and we've been surrounded with NPCs our whole life. So it's behaviorally speaking, we're used to superficiality, people, and we've always felt like a fish out of fucking water, being these islands of soul surrounded by this sea of superficial consciousness, which is the NPCs, which is the mundane reality reinforcement officers. So it's very important that we really awaken to this fact. No, you haven't done anything wrong. No, you're not an NPC magnet. You're simply a souled being surrounded by NPCs, because I bet you any money they're like 1,000 to 1. Probably even more. There's like 10,000 NPCs to every soul traveler. Seriously. I know this much. They never take responsibility for anything. Oh, it's not my fault. They're all doing it to me. You know, it's not my fault. Oh, you know, this is so typical of the passive-aggressive narc. It was like my mother, through and through. You know, and so coming back to this, like, as well, say for example in your childhood you had an overt narc as a father who was very abusive. You do go through life, you come across that type. It is a kind of lesson. It is showing you something. There is something there for you to work out and work with regards to your own healing, for sure. That's true. I do believe that. So again, the world external to us, and this includes our bodies, which is an external in a sense, is there as an interactive experience. It's really hard going at the moment, people, but soul travelers, soul beings are here on a quest. We're here to do something. We are all connected. We see what this place is increasingly more and more. And to learn to really see whether you're dealing with a souled person or a narcissist NPC, and all NPCs are narcissists. They're different types of narcissists, but they are narcissists because they all have the one thing in common. It's they are not real. They're dead. They're simulacra of people, of souled beings. They're not real and they have no empathy. Nothing. But they can feign to have empathy. They can feign to have compassion. But here's what I know. When I'm dealing with a souled person, there is a vibrational aspect to that. I feel it. I know it. Not in a, oh, I really want this to be a soul person, so it feels good, even though it doesn't really, because there's always a sense of unease, of, no, this isn't quite right. Something here is not quite right. This person is superficial. It looks really good, but it isn't. It doesn't feel right. With a soul person, it's like, yes, this person is definitely, genuinely interested in me and my experience. Like I am definitely, genuinely interested in them and their experience. We can learn from each other. We can inspire each other, support each other. And it is real and it is genuine. And you feel nourished by it. You feel nourished by it. But when you're dealing with an NPC, invariably you feel like something has been stolen from you. You feel like you've been fed off on. They feed, they suck. They're like the Dementors in Harry Potter. Or like the Horcruxes. They feed from you, so you feel like you've been like you've been, something's been stolen from you. You see? Energy vampirism. Right? Soul travelers, it's the other way around. It's like, oh, I feel so nourished, I feel wonderful. And the person that you've just had an interaction with, who's also a soul traveler, also feels nourished. It's mutually beneficial. But with NPCs, it's mutually, well, actually, no, it isn't. There's nothing mutual about it, so forget I even said that. But yeah, you get my drift, basically. So no, you're not an NPC magnet. You're simply surrounded by NPCs because there's so fucking many of them in this world, and this is a narcissist world. Just look at the system of this world, how it literally bleeds everything and everybody dry, ad nauseam. We're fodder. It sees us as fodder. And it's created these NPCs, and so of course they're all narcissists, because darkness can only create darkness. NPCs are darkness. Soul travelers are light. We are the anathema to this place, people. We love only that. which is of the light, other soul travelers, animals, nature. Everything else is death, people. It is death and it must be neutralized. That's all I have to say today. Mwah.